That crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, believers? I hope everybody is having a great evening. My name is Bleaves. This is Bedtime with Bleaves, and I exited my trade. Finally, I wish I had some kind of sound effect for like cheers or something like that. I exited with $170 profit. That's right. In 2 weeks, from June 24th till July 7th, I made $170 profit. Holla. And I got a new Whitechapel shirt to celebrate. So guess I can't trade worth a damn. I got the money out. The important thing was I got the money out. That was the important part, because that's what I needed, was to get the money out. And you can see over here that in the chart, I got out and I cleared at 12:36. That was a couple of hours ago, right around in here. And now it's starting to pump again up to 12:41. Now I'm looking at the hours, the hour dailies. And by the way, I am going back in as soon as I get a dip, and I'm expecting a dip. And tomorrow we got the jobs report, so I'm hoping that these Asian markets, this is the moment where I'm hoping that the Asian markets are just going to tank, because I need to get a good position back in, because I think the jobs report will probably cause a little bit of a pump. So I needed to get back down here and kind of pop this line here, get me back in maybe at 12:23. I don't feel comfortable being in at this point. I don't want to get wrecked again by having to hold on to it for 2 weeks at a time just to make $170. By the way, if I had held on to it for just a little bit longer, right now it would be $210 or something like that. So it's not like a huge amount of money. The differential, it has to get up here into the 13 and 1400 for it to have been worthwhile. To hold on to it and to keep the trade, to make it something that would have been worthwhile, would probably need to be near 1400, because that would have been 24. That would have been about 2500, and that would have been that's way too far up there, I think, for this thing to reach. So this was just an opportunity for me to settle and take out what I put in, and never listen to Crypto B again. You can believe that shit. Oh, hey, Crypto B, what's going on? Anyway, so it was just it was a bad trade, and the worst part was, I knew back here, and we can go ahead and get rid of that, but I knew back there that getting in, that it was going to be a slow one, because it was right here, and then it pumped up, and it gave me an opportunity. It really gave me an opportunity to take profit, and I just spaced out. I think it was right here. It gave me and I just spaced out, passed out, and missed this sell opportunity, this sell opportunity, this sell opportunity, this sell opportunity. So I had opportunities to make a profit off of it. I had opportunities to get in down here at 1,000. This right here, just to be fair here, if I would have done this one from June 30th and popped it in for this period of time, probably would have sold right here, and then came back in around here. But I mean, that's a $3,000, $4,000 move right there. So kicking myself over that one, but I did keep. I did have an opportunity. I could have bought back in with 15 more, but keeping that dry powder on the sidelines probably was feeling like a little safer to me, just in case this thing just kept going down, because that's that once in a lifetime chance, really, or maybe twice in a lifetime opportunity to accumulate more Ethereum, and it was too good an opportunity to pass up. So I just kind of had to sit back, bite on it, and just wait and wait. So it didn't happen for me. But you know what? I'm going to wait now. And here's my next strategy. So what I'm going to do, so that everybody is clear here, we're looking at, I want to buy right now. I'm going to wait for a sell to pop up, because let's face it, the sells are always popping up on Chandelier. So I'm going to wait for a sell on the hour, and then I'm going to maybe try to correlate it with the 15-minute. or 30 minutes. I think I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. Let me replay my mind's idea. First, and Crypto B, if you're still in here, I was just kidding. But but here's what we're going to do. I have 10 million Luna Classic. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, and we're going to zoom in here just a little bit so we can look at it. I'm going to wait for the sell to happen. I'm going to wait for it to move down. And then when I get that buy signal, and I'm going to look for this rounding right here, and I'm going to look for a divergence here where the 48 line here, like where it is right now, where it's over. I'm not going to buy in unless unless the whole thing is over the 48 line, because I'm going to try to keep it as safe as possible. And then this blue line will be separating from the green line. The green line is the 13-day, and yeah, green is the 13-day, and the blue is the 9-day. And I've got the blue one a little bit bigger because I want that one to be the one that matters the most. You see here, if you're watching, when the blue starts to diverge from the green, which means that the 9-day is over the 13, and it's getting a significant spread right there, that's when you start to see this thing go crazy. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So, and then you can go back here and you can take a look here when the yellow when the yellow starts to get here, it's because these things are starting to diverge and come back together. So I'll just be looking for those. And this is easier to look at because it's on the 15. The one that I'm going to be looking at for the buys, though, is going to be on the hour chart. And that's all I'm going to be doing for a while. Now, look at this one. If you had bought in here with, say, 10 ETH, right, at 1166 right now, you would be up $1,000 today. And that would be a good trading day, by the way. If you can make $1,000 a day, think about that over 365 days. And that's nothing to sneeze at. And obviously, you don't get those wins all the time. I just took a loss of 2 weeks. So, and it really, by the way, it wasn't the money. It was the amount of time. It's the amount of time that it takes to get in and out of that trade. Like I was just, ugh. We're going to talk about, by the way, we're going to talk about Luna Classic in just a few minutes. In case anybody missed this morning, there's going to be some updates. So, we'll be talking about that. So let me go through here. Hi, Anthony, what's going on? Juice, what's going on? Juice in the house. Jay, what's happening? BFOC, what's going on? I believe in myself too, man. Lionel, what's going on? Crypto B, I'm just messing with you, by the way. Like you were. I think you were probably one of them that told me to sit on the sideline and wait that one out. Maddie B, Win Toyota. I just bought a brand new car, so and it's got a moonroof on it. So what are you gonna do? Fabe, what's happening? Mark, I'm glad I got out too, man. Wizard, buy or sell? What do you think? Hope for the dip, but want bull run. So we're going to go over a little bit of that and talk about that because, like, right now, if I'm making a buy, I'm not making a buy until I see a 1 hour buy candle on Chandelier. And I've got my Chandelier set to 1.2 tolerance on my multiplier. So I can move it down just a little bit to get it closer to like a one-on-one peg. But I feel like, yeah, it's just a little bit safe. I feel a little bit safer right here. So we could do this too. We can do like the periods. We can cut the periods out so that there's less. But like I think I'm just going to stick with this right now. And I'm just going to keep doing this and just look for, these are my 2 indicators. I'm going to be using the EMA and I'm using the Chandelier. So market cipher, I'm going to set up another. I'm going to set up another one where I can look at market cipher. And of course, Ethereum is on the run right now. Silly me for selling, but you know what? I don't regret it. We got out, we got the money, and I'm up, and that's the important thing. So my idea here is going to be this. Tomorrow, we're going to get a good jobs report. We get a good jobs report. It's going to be a buy time, but I don't know what the rest of the market's going to be doing. So let's see how we do overnight. I hope that we get a nice little dip so that the U.S. market can buy that dip because they had a good run today. We'll see what happens. Bull, did you load up on Luna Classic? Yeah. So back to that, I got 10 million Luna Classic. I'm waiting for that moment. Now, by the way, for anybody who is worried about Luna Classic, there is something happening. The Terra Rebels in 24 hours will be taking over. So it's we're getting close. We're getting really, really close. And hold on for me 1 second. Ow. By the way, I just did a video on Floki for anybody who's interested in Floki that I'm going to be releasing, and it took me forever to put this thing together. Whew. I'd be sneezing all the way to the bank. Yeah, dude, I think it's called Saitama version 3. Saitama V3, because I had like Crypto Queen reached out to me today, and there were a couple people that reached out to me were like, why is Saitama doing another one? And it's just a scam one. Yeah, I got out of the trade finally. What's going on, man? I feel bad. Like I could have held on to it for just a little bit longer. I don't feel like I cheated. I feel like I took the opportunity to get out when I could. So I don't feel bad about it. Now I could have, by the way, gotten out at like 12:50, but I had an emergency that had kind of come up, so I had to go deal with it, and that kept me from making any trades because I can't trade on my phone right now because I use Coinbase, and Coinbase has it cut off for the moment. I don't know. All right, Farm, what's going on? Did I get caught up here? Ooh, on Voyager. Ouch. All right, well, I'm not on Voyager. I went straight to Station, and I don't know how Station is sitting, but yeah, so this is my wallet on Station right now. I have 9.992 million. It's worth 1134 right now. Phantom update. I don't have another Phantom update from this morning yet. As a matter of fact, I did reach out to them because I'm looking like, give me a couple of early screenshots and stuff like that. Maybe let me put together a video to start showing some stuff. And I'm just waiting for a response right now. So we'll see how that works out. So now, since we're on this, let's go ahead and let's do Terra first. So the Terra Rebels have taken over the Terra Luna the Luna Classic and the USTC UST Classic. These are the proposals that they're implementing. 4080, 3568 is the big one. 3568 is the one where it's 50% of the fees that it charges are going to go into a pool, and 35% of those are going to burn. That 35% are going to burn monthly, and then the other 15% are going to be split up between validators and developers, so that validators and developers are getting paid in order to support the Luna Classic chain. Second, 4080 also passed, and it's on testnet, by the way. Terra Rebels have their own testnet that they're using to test right now, and they've been given access to a testnet. They're working through everything, and 4080 is also implemented on their testnet, and that burns 1.2% of the supply on transactions. Problem being, it doesn't. It's not burning on. I think this is. I guess basically you have to use Station for trading. So you have to use the Station swap in order for it to work on the Station swap. So that being the case, it doesn't really have a whole lot of value everywhere yet. So it's just going to be for people. So you're going to have to move your money to Station and do your swaps there if you want to swap. Now, I'm going to be a long-term hodler here. I was going to sit back and I'm just going to wait for this thing to moon. That was 4080. So the 1.2% will be implemented that way. And of course, CZ from Binance did say that he was open to doing it as well. And as they implement it, they're going to be reaching out to other developers. And they've heard good feedback, by the way, from the centralized exchanges that they are willing to comply. But they're just kind of waiting for this whole thing to like create itself. So as soon as they get it implemented on Station, then we're going to be good to go. Then there's Proposition 4090. 4090 was the reinstatement of delegation and staking, and that one is also on testnet being worked on right now. That looks like it's going to be implemented very shortly. And then there is one other that that did pass, and now it's going to escape me for a second. So I'm going to have to go find Terra Rebels, and I'm going to have to go look at that thing one more time to tell you what the last one was. Now, here we go. Excellent work from Terra Rebels. Even though it seems like not much is happening, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Thanks for checking that 1.2% burn would give. In 5.6 hours, that 1.2% would have burned 77 million tokens. So I want you to just kind of put the pen to paper on that. And remember that in the last 24 hours, there's only been 140 million in transactions. But that's still going to be 777 million. That means that it's going to be 1,000 days before you can do 1 trillion. So it's not significant, but it's a big amount. And it'll keep going. The more we burn, the better off this whole thing's going to be, all the way back down to 10 billion. And listen, if you're holding on to 10 million tokens when there's 10 billion left, and this thing still has a $700 million market cap, then your tokens are going to be valued at $700,000. So I'm going to hold on for a while. If it gets to 50 grand, I'll probably G'd out and just be like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, because the way I see it is going to take just an enormous amount of time. At the current level, it's going to take an enormous amount of time for this thing to work itself out. But at least we're going right now. So this is the proposals and the implementations. 3568, they're here. And then 4095 is to re-enable staking. I'm missing 4090 here somewhere. Maybe it was 4095. Okay, it was 4095. And then the final one was re-enabling IBC, and that was right here. Nope. Here. This was a parameter proposal that passed with a yes vote. Terra validators disabled IBC as a stopgap solution to prevent the impermanent loss on UST. Here's the problem: if you re-enable IBC, then what you're doing is you're re-linking UST to Luna. Now, that is a great thing because when UST pumps, then Luna pumps. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be they'll be merged together as such. So that would look to be a pretty good idea, except what if nothing happens over here? And what if people just start selling again? There was a run a couple days ago that they were putting on it where they got it up to, what is this, about 9 cents? So it got up to about 9 cents. And if you look at it over here, it's 515. So they got it up to 9 cents. So they got it up to a market cap of about 900 million, roughly. And, I don't know that does anything. Like, how does repegging it? The question is going to be, how does repegging it help? And will the burning of the supply and the strengthening of Luna Classic, will this thing work itself out in this IBC process? So that's the question. And their answer was not implemented yet, right here. And their concerns and their problems with it is during the UST depeg, there was a significant concern regarding IBC vulnerabilities. We've reached out to 2 Cosmos developers, one that closed the channel in the first place and one that warned against reopening early when UST was depegging. We plan to talk to interchain teams like Osmosis and Juno and consult with the Cosmos developers who were involved in the first place. So here's the thing. It's not implemented yet, but they intend to do it. So just so everybody realizes, 1299 was approved. 4080 was approved, and that was the 50% transactions to the community pool, of which 35% per month is going to be burned. Then there was 3568, which is 1.2% being burned. That one is going to be approved too, so that one's going to be implemented as well. And then the final one, really the first one, I guess, is 4095, which is re-enabling staking and delegation to existing validators. And remember, in this regard, you're not going to have an exorbitant amount of tokens. They're not going to get they're not going to be tossing tokens at you just to go crazy. So just remember all that kind of stuff. Like this thing is gonna happen, but once you've pegged, once you've tied UST and once you've tied Terra UST Classic and Luna Classic back together, then you're not really opening Pandora's box, because everybody knows the risk. Everybody knows and understands how it's how it's going to work. But also this, if you're disabling the ability of Luna Classic to mint new tokens to prop up the UST price, and you get people interested in trying to pump the UST price to get it pegged again, I mean, who knows what can happen? The best thing that I can say is, if you got a few bucks and you want to take a chance, I mean, like, go for it. That's on you. So, I don't know. I don't know how this, I don't know how this ends. Here's what I think. I think there are a lot of people who are working on this diligently to make this thing a reality in the most positive of ways. And that being the case, a lot of smart minds, a lot of deep pockets are working on this thing to try to make something happen. So I'm going to side with them, and I'm going to say that they're going to come through with something good at least. So, and remember, we already talked about, and I don't want to talk about it again, but we already talked about how the death spiral happened and how all of this stuff started working. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey man, I got out because I had to get out at that point. I was in there for 2 weeks waiting. But listen, since USTC is not pegged to $1 anymore, since that algorithm is not there trying to do that, and it's not using Luna, I don't know what the reason is for putting it back together. But you know what? That's how it got there in the first place. And if I am a big holder, I assure you, when there's a bunch of money in that wallet, my ass is cashing out, and that's going to be the end of my Luna Classic, because I do not trust that system now. And the Terra Rebels are being put there, and they're being given control of it. But in the end, oh man, it's another Jeep from Volt, man. God damn it. You know what? They happen. They happen all the time. These poor guys. They're as afraid of chicks as they are of money. That's all you can say to them, man. That's it. 96.20. That's not bad though. What did we get here? There's nobody who really got out that matters. This is a bunch of low-hanging fruit. I wouldn't worry about this. I think we're good. Goat token is having a moment. It's still up. Phantom also having a moment. Not a lot of activity, by the way. I keep saying that, but it's not really a lot of activity. This is just being propped up by that purchase earlier today. Well, I guess there's been more purchases. I guess more people are buying back in. Look, Phantom, at some point, we're going to have some information. When we have some information, we start releasing it, and we start having a functioning and working thing. Like, you never know what's going to happen, but I really think this shit's going to start going insane at some point. Not right now. This is not the market for it, but at some point that shit's going to go out of control. So let's move on to that. So the Bank of Russia proposes crypto trading platform on the Moscow Stock Exchange. Now, think about this. Goldman, Gary, and the SEC are trying to cripple cryptocurrency, and Moscow. And remember, we had a discussion earlier today, and that earlier today discussion was, is the UK becoming a crypto hub? Well, Europe is becoming a crypto hub, and now Russia is trying to become a crypto hub. Vladimir Putin does not have bad things to say about Bitcoin. He doesn't go out there with his people calling it phony money and fake money and all of these different things. So, we're going to lose ground as a nation in the adoption of Bitcoin and other types of cryptocurrency. We are going to start, as the United States, falling behind the curve very, very quickly, because The rest of the world is adapting at a rate that seems to be superior to what we're doing right now. The Russian Banking Association head proposed the creation of a crypto trading platform. The Russian Banking Association head proposed the creation of a crypto trading platform on the Moscow Stock Exchange. Russia's been quite unstable in its stance for the legalities around cryptocurrency. The country initially hints about legalizing crypto, whereas later on they speak about banning crypto. Now, the Russian Banking Association head speaks about deploying a crypto trading platform on the largest stock exchange in the country, the Moscow Stock Exchange, the MOEX. So, Anatoly Aksakov, the head of the Russian Banking Association, said that the MOEX is the best for deploying a crypto exchange in Russia. Of course, there should be a crypto exchange, which again is created according to the strict requirements of the central bank. I admit that this is a division of the Moscow Exchange. Now, listen, here's what's going to happen. The way this plays out is very simple. These guys are going to do something. They're going to implement a cryptocurrency exchange in Russia, and then as soon as these sanctions are lifted, where do you think our money goes? Our money goes into this Russian. They're going to start trading cryptocurrency in Russia or Europe, somewhere else, not America. Like, this is the kind of nonsense that Goldman Gary, being in charge of the SEC, is creating for us. I mean, not day in and day out, but you get my point. Gary Gensler is just an idiot at this point. He's an old idiot behind the times, and son of a bitch. ETH is pumping right now. We're up to 1247. I did want and was hoping that we would get a little bit of a pullback for me to get in one last time in order to get something done and make up for lost 2 weeks. But looks like I'm not going to get that chat, man. So if you're in, good for you. So, Crush, I think that Ethereum is probably headed to 13 or 1400 in the short term. Like, I think that we're going to head up to here. We're going to bust through 1280. You can see right here, there's really a fight through every little step here. And I think that the fight for 12, I think that fight is more of a Bitcoin fight. As we get over here to 1280, it's going to be right here. So it's going to be a fight for Bitcoin to stay above 22,000. Bitcoin's going to need to get to about 23, because that 23 resistance, that's going to be kind of where we start to hit this thing up here and this resistance. So Jesus Christ, 1268, 1294. We are flying right now. Look at the money going in. This is for the Jeets who sold, huh? All right, and this, by the way, is the Chinese market just waking up. They're just waking up, and they are plowing into this. So good on them. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get in at a pretty good discount at some point, man. Like, I'm going to be happy to get back in. I just like it really what I wanted to do was I wanted to get in and at least make $2,000 or $3,000 more dollars to make up for having nothing for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I want to kind of catch up in my brain to the plan. So I was just kind of sitting here looking, like, hoping for what everybody just got over here, which was a little buy-in, 1166 up to here. That would have been $1,500 this afternoon. So, you know, that was a good trade. Like, that was a really good play for somebody. So, oh well. But so back to the Bank of Russia. We're losing ground every single time that this shit happens. It's getting crazy. Now, here is the greatest news in the crypto market right now. Celsius Network completely pays off its Bitcoin load. Liquidation price hits 0, which means that they are probably going to start opening up withdrawals pretty soon. So let's read through here real quick. Celsius Network has completely paid off its entire Bitcoin loan, dropping its liquidation price to zero. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you something in just a few minutes that's gonna make you kind of scratch your head because it makes no sense whatsoever. And you're gonna be like, "What the f is going on?" Because it doesn't really make sense in my mind yet. Celsius has been on a debt clearance spree as the crypto lending platform has been paying off millions against its Bitcoin loan recently. The last payment before today's payment was on July 5th when the firm paid off $40.8 million. Today, the firm cleared its Bitcoin loan payment with another $41.2 million. The payment dropped the liquidation price, which stood at $27.22, to an absolute zero. The entire repayment history can be viewed here. And you can see right here, here's the history of it, and here's what they paid. So there you go. They are absolutely 100% paid down and off. Celsius Network halted its activities, including trading, withdrawal, and deposits in June. It has been more than 24 days since the platform blocked access to funds for its users. The payment of 41.2 cleared the debt and released the 453 million collateral. The loan that was procured from the Maker protocol, it completely paid off now. Data from DeFi Explorer shows that the final 41.2 was paid in DAI. DAI is the stablecoin of the Maker protocol. As a result, Maker released 21,962 wrapped Bitcoin to Celsius, which was pledged as a collateral for the loan. The released WBTC is worth around 453 million at the time of writing, with wrapped Bitcoin trading at 20,636. So shit. Think about this. They got it at 20,636, and it's up $2,000. So they're up 10% from this. So their 453 is now 500 million. So their position just got improved a little bit. Even though the month of June proved to be extremely difficult for the firm, Celsius started to reduce its debt earlier this month. It's currently trading at 84 cents, 6.69% down in the last 24 hours compared to weekly performance. It's gained 9% in the last 7 days. Now that the firm has reclaimed its collateral, users will be at the edge of their seats hoping for the platform to resume its activity. So it would be incredible to see this happen and to see them reopen their trading. I'm sure they're going to be restrictive trading, but to reopen their trading would just be phenomenal for the space in itself. And it would show that we've not learned a lesson, but that something positive is happening at least. So you can see here, by the way, circulating supply continues to just moon. There's so much more Luna circulating supply coming in. Here's 5 million that got burned. And remember, if you're following at Luna's supply alert, then you're looking at circulating supply versus total supply. You're going to see the circulating supply continue to accumulate because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not affecting the price, by the way, directly, because the circulating supply right here is still locked. So there's no new tokens being minted or created. So when this goes down 5 million, it went down 5 million. And then as you go through here more, you'll see like 50,000. This is people just tossing in, I think, some of these smaller amounts. You know, I still don't know what they are. I guess I don't really care either what they are because they're not significant enough. Like when I wake up one morning and I see this 6.9 at 6.8, then I'll know that a significant enough portion has been burned to start making eyes like turn. You know what I mean? That 1.2%, I don't think they were thinking that through. I think they were thinking that through based on it being like $1 billion a day, and that they were going to just like maul their way through. Through. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's going to take a little while to get this thing implemented and underway. So. No, I didn't get a sell flag. I had been, I've been in it for 2 weeks, and I was able to pull out 14.9 and then leave 0.1 in to pay for fees and stuff like that. So I just wanted to get out because I was underwater for that 2 week period of time. There was no reason for me to continue to holding. There's no upside to me, even if they pump and I get into a bigger profit, there was no upside to me holding, because it could have gone back down. What's up, gang bangers? What's going on, Jonathan? Yeah, Bitcoin's looking really good right now. And by the way, sometimes you do get a sell flag that disappears. I did not get a sell flag, but I did get a couple of reds going across the line here. But again, this was on the hour chart. If you go to the 15-minute chart, I got a sell signal right here, which is what I saw that told me to sell. But I'm basing everything on this hour chart. So when I'm looking at the 1 hour, I did not get a sell signal here. So going forward, I'm going to be using just this one. And then if I see this one start to retrace just a little bit and I get over here, then I see a sell around this, around this area before the 1 hour pops, then I'm probably going to take profit as long as it's up and as long as I'm making a little bit of money off of it. What are you going to do, right? But let's go over here and let's look at the cheddar, man. God damn. Volt is trading at 98. Oh shit! Somebody just bought. Listen to this. 0.2 ETH right here. It's a 0.2 purchase just now. Took the price from 96.20 up to 98.66. That's how much Ethereum matters. That's exactly how much it matters. Lionel, I'm not really doing day trading. I'm just doing it on Uniswap as kind of swing because the cost has been like $5 to $10 for a trade right now, which, by the way, is cheaper than Coinbase. Remember that. It's cheaper than Coinbase right now, which is ridiculous if you're trading. Like if I'm using 15,000, it's taking 0.6%. So it's taking a ridiculous amount every time to make a trade over there. So forget that. But that's how much it matters. Somebody bought 0.2, not even a one full ETH, not even one full ETH in 12 minutes, moved the price 200 points. Think about that. That's ridiculous. By the way, when do we get staking? That's what I should be looking into. When do we have staking ready? I know it's coming, or am I saying too much again? God damn it. All right, well, let's go talk about Terra. Terra is almost back to where it was when this guy sold 188 Ethereum. He sold 188 Ethereum right here in one fell swoop. What a scumbag, I swear. But that dropped it to 1536. So from 1536, it has recovered its price up 20% in 2 days. So, and I think the tax on Terra, is it 9%? So it's 18% in and out. So it's up 30%. So if you had gotten in here, then you would actually be up a legit 10% on your price right now. And that would be a pretty good thing. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty good lick just for somebody to make on a short period of time. And continue to move. It's going to continue to pump. Not long term right now. I mean, short term. As long as Ethereum continues to pump a little bit, as long as Bitcoin pumps. Now, we got to see if Bitcoin holds its position. When you start to move out here, and let's get into the days, because the days are the ones that really give you, like, where is the real resistance at? And you're going to see, like how far out do we have to go to find a real resistance point? We're at this right now. Like, we have smooth sailing. What the fuck? Okay, so listen. 21,686 was the big resistance point for Bitcoin a little while ago. And it looks like we're holding, and we've held for at least an hour or so. Somewhere at, 24 or 25? We don't face any resistance in Bitcoin rather than standard selling until 25.3. So it is entirely possible that Bitcoin just gets on an epic sort of run over the next little while. I mean, it takes all the markets working together, and I think the possibility, I think the possibility that I'm not in the market right now might be the impetus that it needs in order to start blowing up. So if it blows up right now, F you to the market, but also you guys are welcome. Shit's crazy, man. That shit is just absolutely bonkers. You know what? As a matter of fact, I was on Space Chick's channel last night, and Crypto Chick was on there, and she said the same thing. She was like, you know what? If I get out of this, then I know it's going to start mooning the moment I get out of any. If I pull my money out of anything, then I know it's going to start going up. I just know it. So We all feel that, by the way. But you know what? Listen, that was I made for full disclosure, just so everybody knows, I made I was at $18,000 in my when we started doing this. I was at $18,000, and now my wallet, after withdrawing, after doing everything, is at 24,000. So I made 6,000 plus I pulled out, I think, 2,000. So that's 8,000 before I got put on 2-week hold. So like that's a pretty good amount in a short period of time, by the way. That was in a short period of time. So, oh, and by the way, in case you guys haven't seen it, let me show you this because like this is Floki. And if you've never seen Floki, I think most of you have. You've seen Floki, but they just did a year in review, starting with they ran this. They did this with what do you call it? When Elon Musk decided that he was going to name his dog Floki, he got a Shiba Inu, and he was going to name it Floki. So when that happened, that's when Floki was born. And so the story was that Floki was implemented, and then like 3 weeks later, they found like an exploit from the developer, and the developer just kind of basically left, and it was sort of like rugged. So all of the people got together and they said, you know what, we'll fix this for you. And when I say rugged, let me rephrase that. It wasn't rugged. It was just that he wasn't going to support it anymore. And he was just like, forget it. So then he leaves he leaves the place and just kind of leaves everybody like hanging. So they then decided they were going to take all of their they're going to take all of their funds, and they're going to create a new Floki. It was going to be Floki version 2, right? So they pull their resources together, and it's like 6 of them. They all pull their resources together, and they create a pool, and they're getting ready to deploy the pool, and one of the some bitches steals the pool, and like just robs them all, and disappears. So they're like, oh my God. So they find out that they can't trust this guy, obviously, but they're not deterred. They still launch the 2 just with a smaller liquidity pool. And they tell everybody, they're upfront with everybody, like, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, and this is the only way we can fix it is to give you a chance. So they create, they renounce, they do everything they can to make sure that they have an opportunity, including creating a marketing wallet. They give these people a vote on everything. So they create a marketing wallet, and then once they create the marketing wallet, they start marketing, and they go up to a $3.5 billion market cap during the bull run. So listen, when you're thinking about some of the cryptocurrencies that we have right now, think of the active ones that do a great job. When you think of something like Volt, remember, Floki did $3.5 billion in a market cap in these times. So, don't get discouraged during these moments. So it went from a $4 million market cap at launch to a $3.5 billion. Think about all the money people made. Now, of course, it's retraced and it's back to a $61 million market cap right now. But this market has been brutal to a lot of different products. So it didn't have the support, didn't have that long-term support. And you have to have long-term support. I mean, you got to look at something like Shiba with over 1 million holders and think that Shiba just a couple days ago had 5 zeros instead of 4 zeros. So, it can always get worse. So they went through some things. Then they had a guy over there by the name of Dexhawk, and like him and some other people got extra tokens in the minting process. Now, I'm not sure exactly how this exploit worked, but there was an exploit in the second version of the contract where they got extra tokens, or at the end of the first one, like somehow or another, they were able to get extra tokens. And then they were able to trade those extra tokens for extra new tokens. So this whole time, these guys were like millionaires. And when it was found out and they were confronted with it, they all sold and got out. and then the rest of, and they blacklisted some of the wallets. Now, here's the thing. Some of those people didn't know they had extra tokens, so you couldn't blacklist the wallet. So the community had a vote on it, and they got rid of the wallets. They unblacklisted the wallets, and I mean, let the people sell. Like, you know, if the people are selling, it's their right to sell. And then some of those people just ended up not being those who they thought they might be. You know, they stuck around. So then they came up with a version 3, and the version 3 was a full-on DAO, and that's where they are now. So there's been 3 versions of Floki, and in the meantime, they have opened up a school, and it's not Floki University, by the way. They opened up a school in, I think it's Nigeria or Ghana. They opened up a school in Ghana. Now they're opening up a school in Laos, a school in Guatemala. And maybe it is Nigeria now that I think about it. But they're opening up schools across the world. And it's kind of a humbling thing to watch. I do have a video that I put together, and I'm going to be releasing it pretty soon. But if you want, on February 17 of 2022, Floki released a video of the school, and you know, it's a bunch of people. It's like a small village in like Nigeria or something, and this entire community that, you know, they had a mud hut for a school, and you know, they built an actual school in this area, and it's like incredible. It's just matter of fact, you know what? We're not going to get a strike. We're not going to do that. Here's what the school looks like, by the way, in case anybody's interested. This is what they built in the middle of like nowhere, and this is the story.
Thank you, Floki. Now I can come back to this. Thank you, Floki. I like my new school.
Thank you, Floki. We remain grateful, and God will bless you. Thank you, sir. I said this happened like a miracle because I have never experienced this before. Since for the existence of this community, this has never been done before. And everybody is very happy with this community because this village was total as if this happened.
This was their school, by the way.
By the grace of God, this happened. I can say that it is God Himself that prayed this as this year. My name is Samuel Daniel, the youth chairman of this community of Kuchweja. We have been suffering because of the education facilities. Since 1980, that the existence of this school, nothing has been coming, no structures, the environment is not even conducive for children to learn. We are very, very happy. We are very, very glad. We appreciate someone who established this good gesture to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Floki. 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 Thank you, Floki.
So anyway, they built a school. They built a school for those people, and that's like crazy. It's unbelievable, like what they did, and it's one of the most heartwarming stories. And now they have, I forgot now. So they have a school in where is this one? This one is in Nigeria, and then they have another one in Laos, and then they have another one. These have already been started. They've started construction on all 3 of these: Laos, Guatemala, and Ghana. So they're building schools all over the place. And this is a picture in Laos of the school as it's being built. And here is some of the recently completed stuff. Like this is in Luang Prabang, a province of Laos, 1,747 students. And they're building this new school for these guys. And of course, I mean, look at the school. Like it's a little bit different than what you would see. I mean, there's dirt on the floor and stuff like that. But look at what they have over here on the side. Like this is not, we have concrete floors on the inside here, and they have toilets. And listen, a lot of these places don't have toilets. So think about that. Some of the stuff that you're looking at back here, like these houses, you just go outside to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So, these are people in second world, third world nations that are just not. They just don't have what we have. They don't have the prosperity and the opportunity that we have everywhere. And Floki is reaching out across the world and doing something about it. And then when you take that a step further, they also have Valhalla, which is their own game. And let's turn off. This is what it looks like when you're playing it for the first time. We're going to turn that off, and then we're going to look here. This is one of the things that you can create with the game, and it's a combat game. So here you go. It's kind of, what do you call it? Final Fantasy Tactics. So it's a tactics-based game, and where you move around from spot to spot in order to have your fight and your combat with people, and you can wager crypto while you're doing it. And I'm just fast-forwarding through here so that you can see it. This is still in alpha testing, and it's on Ocu. If you're looking to, and if you're interested in playing it, then down here in the article, it tells you where you can go to test it. It's on the Optimistic Kovan testnet right now. And if not, then I feel like that's not right. It's on Optimistic testnet right now. So if you wanted to go play, then you would be able to go hunt it down, check it out, and actually play the game. So, I mean, these guys are no joke. So, that's crazy that these guys put so much effort into everything that they've done. And also, not only did they do this with Elon Musk, but if you go to Million Gardens Project, I think it's called Million Gardens Movement. They're part of the Million Gardens Movement with Harrison Ford, and Kimball Musk is the founder of this. They are partnered with Elon Musk's brother on the Million Gardens Movement. So, and having Harrison Ford probably helps a little bit. Well, I guess having a Musk behind you probably helps a lot. This is Frank Giustra and Kimball Musk created the Million Gardens Movement, and it's to create gardens across the world to help people feed themselves in areas and in situations in which they normally don't have the ability to feed themselves. So, these guys have a passion, and if not these guys, then maybe I should say that the team there that was behind all the development and everything, they have a passion for helping people, especially people who really need help in places where they can't be helped. And there is a guy there, I kid you not, his name is Mr. Brownwell. And I tell you what, I think Mr. Brownwell is from Nigeria, because if you ever hear him in chat, he's got the same accent as some of those Nigerian guys that were talking in the video about the school. He's got the same kind of accent. You know, there's an inflection depending on where you're from. And if he's not from Nigeria, he's from a country somewhere near Nigeria, because he has the same accent. And he will come into chat and he'll just start yelling. Hey, what's going on, Space Chick? How you doing? He'll start yelling at people about Floki and why Floki is like the greatest token that's ever lived. So we're going to give them a shout out on the channel, and at least some recognition to people like you guys who bother and take your time to follow me, and hopefully I teach you something or anything like that. If you care, then go look up Floki, because it's a great project and they're a bunch of great people. So anyway, whew. And then there was one more thing that I wanted to get into, by the way. And I was just reading over it. Axie Infinity lands. Axie Infinity, how to buy land in Axie Infinity Metaverse. Now, remember, There's a land sale going on now. Axie Infinity is among the most popular and most valuable metaverse assets in the digital play-to-earn gaming sector. It attracts thousands of people in its fold each month, making its popularity soar to new heights. Users can purchase land in Axie Infinity and maximize their investments by monetizing the purchase plots. Each piece of land comes with a gameplay that users can make use of by earning through play-to-earn. Axie Infinity provides good financial opportunities for investors who purchase lands and can earn an additional source of passive income. The platform provides a steady source of passive income for both the gamers and those who purchase lands. The initial Axie Infinity land sale allowed users to purchase 1/3 of the maximum total supply of land. Users could bid for their favorite land and purchase it if they outbid their competitors. However, now that the land sale is over, users can browse for lands in the purchase land section. A variety of interesting plots and big land parcels are available for sale in Axie Infinity. The land comes with their version of gameplay and boasts interesting features that can keep users hooked. Users can also acquire rare characters in different plots, including chimera, raids, and bosses. First and foremost, before buying land in Axie Infinity, note that there are 4 types of lands: Savanna, Forest, Arctic, and Mystic. All 4 lands offer special Lunasian items and collectibles that the player can use in-game for their benefit. And then it tells you how to purchase the land. So if you guys are interested, then go check this out. It's over at watcher.guru. And if you're interested in purchasing land in Axie Infinity, I'm still on the fence about purchasing land. I'm not because I don't like the thought of owning fake land in a game that I may never play. I think that here's the way I see it. If my screen was the Axie Infinity board, and I told you that I was breaking this up into 1,000 squares, and that I was going to sell each one of you a square for $100, right? Then I would have $100,000 at the end. But if I needed $200,000, wouldn't I just make the land bigger a year later? You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as limited land in digital space. The land can go on forever. So I feel very odd. I feel very odd buying land in a game where I know that there is a massive amount of depreciation that can happen at the whim of a developer who needs to top off his funding at some point, if that makes sense. I don't trust them. I don't trust those guys I don't trust them to take care of me in the way that maybe I would take care of them if I were a developer. But then by the same token, I know that if I needed that money and I could do that and I could justify it to myself and I could justify it to my partners and I could justify it to the people that can tell me no, then I'd probably do it too. If you guys know who Taylor Kitsch is an actor who for many years was rumored to be playing Gambit in the X-Men movies. And he ended up playing someone on a movie called Battleship. And then he became famous, and he became a guy from, he did, it was called John Carter on Mars. John Carter on Mars, if you're not familiar, he is the absolute worst, most, that was the biggest bomb to ever come out in the movies. I think it was something like $300 million was spent on the production, and it made less than $10 million in theaters. It was the biggest bomb of all time. It was a Disney movie even, which was absolutely bonkers that a movie like that was that big would fail so epically. But here's the thing. Since then, he's been doing like art house movies and stuff like that. And somebody asked him, like, you're doing these art house movies now, and you're doing these character pieces, and you're doing all these things to show your acting chops and what a great actor you are. But why is it that you're not taking these like $10 million movie roles and stuff like that? And he said, because I'm not a sellout. And then they started laughing. He's like, just kidding. I'm a sellout. If somebody offers me $10 million for a movie, I'm doing whatever they want to do. And hey, anybody wants to throw $10 million for a movie at me, I will do whatever you want to do, because $10 million is $10 million. And that's exactly what I would be as a developer. That's exactly what I would be as a developer. I would tell you what it took in order to make it seem scarce. And then as soon as I needed a little bit more, then I would just be like, oh, well, we're going to have more, and we're going to make more space. And back in the old days, if you're familiar with gaming, back in the old days when you had open worlds, the way that you solved your problem with an open world is with instancing. If you were ever in World of Warcraft, you had a certain land, you had Azeroth, and then you had two big. Well, you had a couple of them, but you had two lands, and then you had one spot called the Dark Portal that you could use to get through to the Outlands. And then that became like another realm, but all you did was pass through a portal and it just teleported you to a different map. You expand the game over and over again. Like it's that easy. So these guys at some point are going to expand the game. ApeCoin, and remember, ApeCoin has screwed people over and over and over again, even if it's taking care of many people. On the way up, it was great. On the way down, the cracks are showing. So if you think that, was it 300 plots or 3,000 plots, whatever the plots of land that they made when they did their self, you think that's all they're ever going to have, you are out of your mind. They're going to have twice as many as soon as they need them. And they're going to be wrecking the Ethereum blockchain in order to make it happen, just like they did the night that thing launched to begin with. So, but anyway, guys, that's my time. It's time for me to go walk the dog, take care of business around here. If you have any questions, we're going to be covering the overnights on the market. We're going to see what it looks like in the next couple of hours. I'm not sure how this plays off tonight. Like I want to say that it feels good. I feel like I'm going to go to sleep and this thing's going to pump and I'm going to wake up in the morning and it's going to be at 1350 and I'm going to be like, son of a bitch, I shouldn't have stopped. You know what I mean? Like I got a feeling that it's going to do that. It could also retrace. The European market, by the way, Monday dumped really hard because the euro was not matching up with the dollar, and they got their report saying that the value had declined. Then Tuesday, they kind of traded sideways. Wednesday, they kind of traded sideways. So Thursday, here we are, which is their Friday, by the way. But here we are. They're going to wake up, and I don't know what they're going to do. They might trade sideways, or they might just pump this market again. India has been feeling good for the last little while. If you ever wonder, India's at 930. So that's, if you go down here, you're looking at 2130. So if you ever want to know what the market did by region, then 630, which you're going to look right here at 2100. You'll be able to see like at 2100 hours, that's 9 o'clock. So you're going to be looking back here just a little bit to like 18 and a half. And you see here, this right here is where the South Korean market was on the 1st, right? Big sell-off. And then Chinese market is an hour later, another big sell-off. And then you have down here at 10:30 and 9:30 to 10:30, this is where you have the Indian market. And that market sold off, then traded sideways. And then the Asian market, or the European markets and the Middle Eastern markets, again, were part sideways for a little while. And then they started pumping. And then the U.S. market helped to pump. Then we got back to the Asian markets again that next night. Sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off, sell off. And then it kept selling off. And then the same thing kept happening. And that was July the 3rd. That was Sunday. Then we had the American market pumped it all day long. Then we had the evening hours, and all of those places sold all night until we got to right here. And then all of a sudden, because this is Tuesday now, and then the European market just took off. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. So just keep the faith. Just watch what happens here. We'll get an idea overnight. We'll know where we are. Here's the thing to remember. You have until the 13th. On the 13th, shit's going to get a little bit crazy. We may even have the dead cat bounce. Remember that. Don't forget. If you come in on the 13th at 1 o'clock, actually it's like at 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you come in at 8:30, 8 o'clock, and you see the indices say that interest is a certain level, and it doesn't feel so bad. If you convince yourself it doesn't feel so bad, you're just like other investors. They're convincing themselves that it doesn't feel so bad, and they're going to probably buy in. They're going to pump the chart just a little bit. But remember this, a few hours later, somebody's going to walk in and be like, what am I smoking? Crack, you idiots, sell. And they're going to start selling, and then the price is going to start going down. It's the way it happens every single month. So just remember that. It's how far it goes and how deep the cut is. But we got the FOMC minutes yesterday. Nobody cares because we already saw what was getting. We already saw that we had the conversation with them. We already knew what was going to happen. So we're not really worried about that. Now we're just waiting for that next FOMC meeting. But they're going to make an announcement, so we'll be good to go. So anyways, guys, this is not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. This is not financial advice. And we're going to take this goddamn thing to the moon. Just going to take a little while. Have a good night, and we will see you for breakfast in the morning.